It's the government's $2.4 billion, not $24 billion, gas tax plan that faces a major hurdle. The gas industry is saying they'll put up with this tax increase, but they're wanting to ensure that there aren't other changes that hurt their industry. Credit Suisse is saying the petroleum resources rent tax reforms are a Canberra tax on Western Australia that will hurt investment. Let's bring in Credit Suisse Energy Analyst Saul Kavonic. Saul, great to see you. The government says it is taking a middle road on PRRT. Is this the case?
Well, I mean, I guess the starting point here is without the contribution of Australia's LNG industry, we wouldn't have a surplus over the last year. And it is true that the measures taken here are measured, they are modest. And that's been a large part driven by Western Australia. There's nothing that goes down like a lead balloon more to West Australians than Canberra imposing taxes on their gas in order to subsidise the gas bills of those of us on the East Coast who refuse to develop our own gas resources. Now, if you take it in isolation, this is an impact which would present about a few percent impact on the economics of Australia's LNG sector. And so in that context, it's modest. The issue we have is this is not happening in isolation. This is just the latest front across an assault we're seeing across a number of fronts against Australia's gas sector on the policy regarding, so we have now tax, we've also got East Coast gas price controls and price fixing, East Coast gas export controls, safeguard reforms, and we've got increasingly challenging approval processes in the wake of the Barossa court case and reforms to the EBBC Act, which are underway. And when you put this together, it actually starts to make a big difference, and international investors no longer see Australia as welcoming investment in gas anymore, and that's where the big problem is here.
And do you think that is happening already, that people are seeing Australia as a riskier place to invest?
Absolutely. So this is not something we hear about very often. It was almost unprecedented that we heard the CEO of INPEX, reinforced by the Japanese ambassador, actually making critical comments in this regard. But it reflects what's broadly happening across the industry. What you're seeing is industry starting to raise hurdle rates to make investments. They are looking at lowering domestic prices that they can get. And this just slowly sees and quietly sees investment drop. And we're starting to see even the homegrown champions in Australia, Australia's champion gas companies like Woodside, like Santos, you're more likely to see them make their next big investment and their next big acquisition overseas rather than at home. And the policy environment and the lack of stability is a big factor driving that.